Yo, what's up, Internet people? This is Dr. John Delony with Ramsey Network. Today we are talking about chemical imbalances, anxiety, and when should we take medication for anxiety? Would that fix us? Okay, so I'm responding to an email I got at ashjohn@ramseysolutions.com. By the way, I'm getting emails from all over the country, tons of them. Keep them coming, they're so good. And we're about to launch the John Delony Show in the next couple of months, so keep them coming. I'm loving it. Okay, so this email is from Andrew. Hey, Dr. D, what's up? I've heard that anxiety can be caused by a chemical imbalance in your body. Is this true, and does this require medication to balance out, or will things like box breathing and journaling help long-term to balance me out? I have extreme anxiety and it's only getting worse. Respectfully, Andrew. Number one, big time shout out to Andrew for being vulnerable, being open. Thank you for your note. I'm getting this question from everybody. I get it from my family members, from my coworkers, from people I meet in the grocery store, not really, and especially from emails. So here's my thoughts on medication, on anxiety, and chemical imbalances. Is anxiety caused by chemical imbalance in our brain? I want to back away from that question because I really don't like the way that question's posed. The short answer is yes. All of our actions are electronic and magnetic and chemical based. Everything we do. Going to the bathroom, it's a chemical imbalance. Being attracted to somebody, it's a chemical imbalance. Being angry, it's a chemical imbalance. Feeling hungry, it's a chemical, everything's a chemical imbalance. And so we often hear the word chemical imbalance and we think I'm broken and what needs to be fixed is the chemical level in my head. I'm gonna go to somebody and get an external chemical and it's gonna fix my internal problem, it's gonna level me out and all is gonna be well. It's not really how it works. And we could go into all the biochemistry and all the hormones and all of the histories and all the stuff. But instead I'm gonna answer that question pretty simply in a few short steps. First, I love how Brene Brown says it, genetics loads the gun and environment pulls the trigger. When it comes to your psychology and to your brain chemistry, who you are genetically, chemically, plays a role. And the world you grew up in also plays a role. And you're not a static robot. Your genome, your genes don't make you who you're gonna be. Your genes can be turned on and off and expressed and unexpressed and muted because of all sorts of different things. From the air you breathe, the relationships you have, the relationships you didn't have, trauma, good nutrition, all sorts of different things. I also love the phrase that we throw around in counseling a lot, which is your childhood biography becomes your adult biology. How much adrenaline and cortisol were flowing through your veins as a kid when you were trying to protect yourself from trauma, when you were trying to connect with a parent who was too busy texting. All of those things turn into your adult wiring. And the third thing is we can control our thoughts and our actions. We can control what we think about all the time. And it's hard and it's challenging. And depending on our genetic wiring and depending on some of our life histories, depending on some of the things that have happened to us, our addictions, our coping mechanisms, the things we do when we want to numb or hide, controlling our thoughts is really hard. Or when you're locked in your house for 5 months because the world's shut down because of some invisible virus, or you get laid off, or you find out she cheated on you again, or your grandmother passes away. All those things set off different fire alarms. And that's why I say often anxiety is just a fire alarm. Is it chemical? Yeah, but it's so much more than that. So the question Andrew asks here is, does it require medication to fix anxiety? The answer is usually no. Usually no. Usually with the right relationships, the right exercise and nutrition program, the right meditating, journaling, breathing, being present program, which we call life. Anxiety just is a normal ebb and flow in your life. There are times, like he mentions here, he has extreme anxiety. When I got laid low by anxiety, just wiped out, I spent a couple of years taking anxiety medication. And what it does is it just silences the alarms. It's like going out to the back of your house, back behind the garage with a pair of hedge clippers where the electricity is coming in, and you just whoosh, turn the power off to the alarms. It just shuts them off. It doesn't fix you, it just shuts them off. But when my alarms were finally quiet, then I got to do the hard work of uncovering childhood traumas, reforming and remaking relationships, learning how to journal, learning how to sit with a counselor, learning how to get to know myself for the first time. So in my world, they were really helpful for a short period of time. And I worked specifically with a doctor. And when I met with my doctor for the first time, I said, I will not put a pill in my mouth until I have an exit strategy. And we worked together to make sure that worked out. And I'm happy to say I haven't taken medication in years and years and years. And my anxiety alarms will go off because they should, because it's a healthy, important part of our lives. But I also know when they're about to take off, when they're about to head for the hills, when they're about to really start going. And I've got enough tools like box breathing. I've got enough tools like calling a friend. I've got enough tools like a community that's my emergency fund for life. My spirituality, my daily practices, my nutrition, my exercise, things that I do on a regular basis that keep the alarms from getting out of control. So if you're suffering from extreme anxiety, Andrew, go talk to somebody. You know you better than anybody. And when you feel alone and you feel like everyone around you is crazy, and when every time you open your eyes, your heart starts beating, and all you're doing is scrolling through looking for the next worst thing, you will find the next worst thing. That's the demon of anxiety. So go find a counselor. Go find somebody to talk to and see if medication's right for you. Go talk to a doctor. I hope this helps, Andrew. If you or anybody else has more questions about brain chemistry, anxiety, depression, how that all works, and y'all want to take a super deep dive, hit me up at AskJohn@RamseySolutions.com. Otherwise, I will see you soon. Take care. Be kind to one another. Go exercise, eat good, and get a good night's sleep. Take care.